Hey there, Shauna Karish here with an Ask Shauna answer. Okay, this one is from Laura, and she says, I'm 3 days into step one. This is a little bit older, so she's past that now. I am 3 days into step one and having an issue. My horse looks away, I click, but he immediately swings his head back to me to try to get in the bucket. He does this very quickly. He is much better about keeping his head turned away when I'm on the right side of him. Any suggestions? Thank you. And this is a great question, Laura, because this is what lots of people deal with, and then they get kind of frustrated because they don't know what to do with it. How do I stop it? Well, keep this in mind. He's only doing what works for him. So he still has a really strong reinforcement history with thinking, go to the food, go to the food, go to the food. And he's worked it out on the one side a little bit better, but on the other side, it's a little newer. And so he keeps wanting to go back to the food and get the food. So that's a normal reaction. That is not to worry about. It simply means keeping his head away isn't strong enough yet. The reinforcement history for diving at the food is more solid than the reinforcement history for keeping their head away for the food. So you're on the right track. There's a couple things that I start to do. One, I always feed them over where I want their head to be. In fact, for a horse like that, I will exaggerate it a little bit. So let's say their head is here, I'm here, I go click, feed, I'll feed under, I reach over and under their chin, so they actually have to go get the food over there. So they learn the food will be delivered over there. So don't worry about what happens in between. You just click and quickly get it and get in and get over there. So, and I think you do have a side bucket, which really does help, because if we have to fiddle in pockets or soft things and zippers and digging out food, but the in and out of the side bucket is super easy. So I'm pretty sure you do. So get in, get over, and it lets you be really expedient till they get that worked out. I even have horses, if I'm on this side, or whatever side I'm on, let's say I'm on this side, and when I click, you'll see them start going, because they're getting their mouth over here ready, knowing the food will come to that side. So just stick with it and keep being consistent. Consistency is a key with the training. So don't worry about too much. Just keep working on feeding over where you want your head to be. Click the moment that the head is in the right place. Feed where you want your head to be. Now, the next component that I do work on that I want to see, but at your stage he's not ready for this yet, I start to want a little bit more duration. Now, why I encourage you not to keep your hand in the bucket, I like my hand just down by my side, and in front of the bucket. And if I need to, though, I will rest my arm on the bucket. If they're very new and still very mouthy, I will put my hand in the bucket on the food, but not grabbing a handful of food, because that's enticing and confusing, but just to keep them out of the bucket. But pretty much they can't get in that side bucket. That's the beauty of it. Their noses are pretty much too big. So as much as you can, just maybe rest your arm on the side bucket for this next component. So what I'll start to do is I now want to build duration, but it's a minuscule little teeny tiny bit at a time. So it's not like I expect you to just keep your head over there for 5 seconds. Like let's say they turn their head away, and I feed, and I feed, and I feed. Now I want it just not even a whole second longer. I just want it to be a pregnant pause longer. So what I'll do is I will wait for just a second. And if they keep it over there, I click and feed that. And that's great. But sometimes what happens is they come back right away in anticipation, and I just wait. And then you'll see them go, oh, okay. And then I click when they go back to it. And pretty soon they start to catch themselves, and they'll stay over there. But the key is the little teeny tiny bits until you can just stand calm and relax. If they don't go for the bucket in between there, I wouldn't worry about it. If they do, I would just, like I said, not put my hand in it, just rest your arm on it as a way to kind of discourage that, to block them, trying so hard to get that, and then helping them to get the right answer, because you're minimizing their options a little bit. So I hope that helps you out, Laura. You know where to ask questions. You asked this question, you've been I've seen your name all around, so I know you're really busy doing a great job and getting started. And another thing, we'll be out at the Desert Circuit coming through the next months. Now this is January 2020. We're going this weekend, next week, this week, next week for Terra Nova Tuesdays. So I know where you are. You are in Southern California and not so far from the Desert Circuit. So you might even enjoy coming up and chatting. But if not, that's okay. You know what to do. and you go to on this for anybody else who's listening, on-target-training.com. That's my website, or you can just Google Shawna Karash, and that'll take you to both of these websites, one being On Target Training, the other being Terra Nova Training Center. So Terra Nova's Training Center is where I work and I live, so sign up for our newsletter and you'll see what we're up to or what my schedule is and what's happening out here in the world of positive reinforcement in New Mexico. The next component, I say you can go to my website. There's a podcast page. There's lots of great episodes on the podcast page. So I think that there's a tab, you can go there and look at the podcast. I walk through and do it with you to get started. And the other thing there is also there's an Ask Shawna page where you or somebody else can submit questions. And there's also a YouTube channel page, which YouTube is where I tend to post this. And I have historically posted them over the years. So you can go to any of those things. You can do a search and find out what I have on your particular interest. Anyway, it's a whole lot of information at the end there, but I hope this helps you, Laura, keeping going, and you may be past this stage already, but you just holler if you have more questions. All right, until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye-bye.